Okay, Emily, first thing, which I've said to almost everybody, is that you need to highlight the important parts of the question, please. So make sure that's the first thing you do. Also, it might have been nice to see a little plan at the start, because I don't know from reading your essay whether there were bits that you missed out because of time, or whether you mentioned everything you meant to. So, it's arguable that terror was one of the most important factors used by the Nazis to consolidate their power between 33 and 34. Good. Get straight to the point, answer the question, and then you've mentioned some of the other factors like the Reichstag fire and the Enabling Act, and you've added some key dates in there too. So good use of key terms, key dates, and you've given an overall answer to the question straight away in this introduction. I've just realised though, German has a capital G, so change that there, please. Okay, so before 1933, events like the Munich Putsch, good, aimed to help Hitler achieve the consolidation of the Nazi Party in Germany. During the events before Hindenburg's death in 1933. So, really good that you use Hindenburg's death here, but I just wanted to add that you don't go into detail about that being a factor that helped the Nazis to consolidate power peacefully, not through means of terror. So I think you missed a little trick there about making that one of your key factors. I highlighted in blue these parts here, so everything green is good. The blue parts, Germany was being consolidated by the Nazi Party. Did you mean to say that? Because it doesn't read very well, so consider revising that, please. I like, however, because it's a good connective, and also it links these two paragraphs together very well. Even though Hitler pressured the German citizens, or promised the German citizens many things which helped the stability of the NSDAP. Careful not to go off topic here, always linking back to the question. The question isn't about the stability of the party, it's about consolidation of power. And then I like this here, many other factors centred around terror, clear link to the question there. Okay, looking at this part here, I really like everything that's going on here. Really, really good. But in this paragraph, you haven't explained why this actually links to terror. Think about the Night of the Long Knives and fear of communism, and how those two things are acts of terrorism, really, I suppose. Moreover, another good connective which also links these two paragraphs in very well. I've highlighted some key terms and dates. See if you can be a bit more specific in just one of your dates. You don't have to be really specific with all of them, but by doing it once or twice in an essay, it really gets you those higher order marks. So again, in green, everything that I really liked. Through gaining the loyalty of the army, it made it significantly hard for anyone to try, and I couldn't read this bit properly because I think because of time, your handwriting is a little bit difficult to read. So if you can read that bit for me, or just when you redo your dirt, just take your time to write it up, please. A few months after the Night of the Long Knives, the army and their loyalty to Hitler. How is that relevant to the question? Always link it in. Okay, try not to just make points and then not explain them. Again, I've highlighted some good bits of your essay here, a little descriptive in parts. So try and just, when you read it back to yourself, where you realise you've repeated points and you've said things twice, but just in different ways, try and cut some of the chaff out and just make your essay a little more precise in places. Make a point. explain why it's relevant to the question, use your own contextual knowledge to explain it further. That's what you need to do in every paragraph. Okay, so again, some really good points here. On the other hand, another great connective. You've talked here about the Concordat and how it helped to form a one-party state dictatorship within Nazi Germany, but you haven't said how or why it does that. So you need to explain this point here, because it is a really important point, because this is one of your non-terror factors, if you like. And you want a few non-terror factors to be well explained in your essay, because you're trying to make it balanced. You're trying to balance non-terror factors with terror factors, and then at the end make a decision on how far you think terror was the main reason or not. Can't read whatever these two words say. I'm really sorry. So again, so it was a little bit difficult to see what you were saying in this sentence. So that's the only reason that's highlighted in blue. And just here, elaborate on the relevance of this point to the question, please. I couldn't read this bit here. I'm really, really sorry. I know I'm going to sound really repetitive here, and I know you were stretched for time, but if an examiner can't read parts of your essay, they just won't count it. They just won't mark it. So if it's crucial to understanding a whole sentence, that whole sentence might not get marked. And if it's, say, your analytical sentence or your explanation, that could be really key. And you could be missing out on some crucial marks there. Lastly then, I like where you were going with your conclusion, but you didn't end on a link to the question. So what was a really strong essay, you haven't ended on a link, and also I haven't got a sense of overall how far you think terror was a key factor. You've said terror was a really key factor and there were other factors. Are you saying that they were of equal importance? Are you saying that terror was the most important factor because all of the other factors had underlying terror in them? Or are you saying terror was just the most important factor because it played a key role in the crucial parts of consolidating power? I'm not sure what your overall argument is. That's not to say that your conclusion isn't strong. It's a strongish conclusion, but it could be stronger. And your essay is strong, so I just want you to end on a really high note. So make a decision. Sit down, have a think, write a list of pros and cons, write a list of terror, non-terror, and you make a decision on which you think is most important. So better to end on a strong kind of this is my argument in your conclusion. Okay, so thinking about levels, we always start with level 3. Questions partly addressed, it definitely is. There's a demonstration of some relevant knowledge and understanding, there definitely is. It's evaluated and analysed in parts of the answer, it definitely is. And I would go up to level 4 because it isn't imparted rather than being used. I feel that you have mostly demonstrated throughout your answer evaluation and analysis, and that it's used appropriately to support judgments that are made. There's definitely a line of reasoning with some structure in your essay, and the information is in the most part relevant and supported by some evidence. Definitely. You don't reach the really high level. So sorry, I should put it in blue, the bits that you don't mark, you don't meet. I think there is a mostly consistent focus on the question, level 5 here, but detailed knowledge and understanding comes from having a few more statistics. You didn't talk about elections at all. You missed out a trick on the relevance of the death of Hindenburg as a non-terror factor. You could have gone into more detail about propaganda and also the SS and SA. So I feel like you missed out level 5 detailed knowledge and understanding up there. And also substantiated judgments were not there. And also your structure was okay, but it didn't meet level 5 because it has to be a line of reasoning which is clear and logically structured, and in the most part substantiated. That would have come if you had a clear plan that you followed all the way through, which you might have done, but I didn't see it. So I'd be really interested to see your plan, to see if we can have a play around with it, so I can show you some effective ways to organise a how far essay answer. Because that's what's going to get you this sort of level 5 up here. So all in all, because you have met all of level 4 and some level 5, that means you get the highest award for level 4, which is 16 marks. And 16 marks is a B+. So you've done really, really well, Emily. I was really impressed with your essay. Very strong. I got where you were going with it. I just feel your conclusion could be a little bit stronger. Well done.